coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting bunker. Coming to you live from a top secret broadcasting bunker. This is Pastor Mike Time Online, and I am live today, but not for very long. Or alive today, but not for very long. I have to fulfill an obligation. I got asked this question not too long after I'd started the Pastor Mike Online live broadcast. Somebody sent me an email, and I don't remember it. I don't remember exactly what all was said, but somebody had said something about Vegemite, and I had never heard of Vegemite before. And the Aussies, those of Australian heritage, Aussie, oi, 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 they told me, oh, yeah, you got to try it. Oh, yeah, it's the greatest thing in the world. Oh, yeah, Vegemite. Oh, yeah, we love it. Woo! And then I had some people going, no, you don't want that. So I made a promise. I remember the promise. Some I don't remember, like the ones I make to my wife. But anyway, I made a promise that I would eat Vegemite online live. And our good friend Bala, who is an import into Australia, sent me 3 tubes of this nonsense. And so I've got 3 tubes of Vegemite. He also had the kindness. Now, let me back up. Let me tell the real story here. Bala had said something. He had spent some time in America, and he said something about wanting and missing Famous Amos cookies. And Famous Amos cookies, I mean, it's a brand of cookies here in America, and they're good. And so I sent him a box of Famous Amos cookies. And he ate them, and he thanked me for them. And so to show his appreciation to me, he sends me this. Some friend. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fulfill my obligation, but I'm kind of torn right now. Torn between two. I don't know if I should eat the Vegemite or the Gorilla Glue that this guy sent me. I don't know which will kill me first, which will actually taste better. Let me try the Vegemite. And so here live, now I've been told by somebody on Facebook how to do this. And I've already put a little dab on my finger. In case some of you don't know what this is, okay, I'll let you look in the end of the tube. Okay, it's nice and black, okay, and gooey. It is concentrated yeast extract. Now, if I were to think of a Bible verse, there's many of them that come to mind. Touch not the unclean thing and stuff like that. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And I did a little research on it. 9 out of 10 pantries in Australia have a jar of Vegemite in it. 9 out of 10 pantries in Australia. 9 out of 10 homes and families of Australians eat this. 1 out of 99 million Americans like it. 1 out of 99 million Americans. So I said something, I took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook last night, and I got a comment that of how it would be palatable. Now, some people, I am told, can actually take this and just squirt it in their mouth and love it. Not me. They say it's the equivalent to peanut butter in America. I've tasted it. No, it's not the equivalent of peanut butter in America. There is something that I can think of that is the equivalent to this, but I don't want to say what I think that this is publicly. So here we go. Here's what I was told to do. I was told, here's my buttered toast. I was told to put a thin layer, okay, and I've made an M for Mike or a W for why am I doing this? I don't know. And then I was told you take and you spread it real thin. So I'm spreading it real thin, kind of like some preachers do with Bible verses and theology. They spread it real thin. So here is my Vegemite infected toast. I'm being told that it's too thick. I believe that. So I'm going to scrape some of this off here. All right. Here we go. Now I have a backup plan. I have my thing of iced tea here, but I also have what is probably, in my opinion, the best thing in the whole world to go with a peanut butter sandwich, and that is a bag of chili cheese Fritos. So I'm going to have this ready. The chili cheese Fritos are actually going to be administered to me before I lapse into a coma from eating this garbage. And if you're Australian, I love you. Thank you for thinking of me this way. Whatever that means. All right, here we go. Mike Hoggard, online live, fulfilling his obligation by eating Vegemite-infected toast on the air. Here we go. The question I have is, it's kind of like the guy who invented methamphetamine. In America, just about anybody can cook and make their own methamphetamine. And some of the ingredients, it's like propane and ammonia and cold medicine, and you cook it somehow. And my question has always been, who in the world dreamed up the idea of putting ammonia and cold medicine and using propane somehow to make that all into a drug that you would swallow or take or smoke or whatever? I don't understand that. And what I don't understand is that who was the first guy who put this in his mouth and said, "Oi, oi, oi." I don't get it. To the trash can you go. To the chili cheese Fritos. That's a lot better. All right. Getting all the nonsense out of the way. We've got real stuff to deal with here. By the way, we're coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting bunker here in Taylor, Michigan. Today is the 11th anniversary. Hold on a second. I gotta wash all this down. Or as they say in the St. Louis area, wash. Today is the 11th anniversary of the September 11th attack on the United States of America. I remember where I was standing, what I was doing, September 11th, 2001. And we all do. We all remember that day. We watched the buildings come down, much to our shock and dismay. We were hearing of thousands of people who had died at the hands of some very, very, very evil people. And for this, it doesn't matter who you think was behind it. Yes, there was a plan. Yes, there was a program. Yes, there was an agenda. And I'm going to include the imagery of 9/11 in next week's Watchman broadcast. I am dealing with the imagery in next week's, probably going to be two parts. I'm dealing with the imagery of the Olympic closing ceremony. I picked up on some things that I haven't seen others pick up on, and I'm going to show you biblically what they represent And the imagery of 9/11 has everything to do with that. And our hope and plan, our hope as Americans, was that this would wake everybody up. Because I remember, in fact, I'm going to do this. I remember right after all of this was going on, September 11th, and I'm just saying, God, what's going on here? And I remember Deuteronomy chapter 28. God had told Israel, he said, if you keep my commandments and keep my ordinances and all of these things, I'm going to bless you. And he said, when you don't, when you throw the 10 Commandments out of the courtroom, when you take them out of the schools, when you won't let children pray, when a school teacher, it's like almost now a federal crime for a public school teacher to even profess that he or she is a Christian. It's almost like a crime now. And yet the Muslims can get away with whatever they want to, and they're honored. And you watch for this. Coming to a school district near you is going to be the allowance for Muslim children, for Muslim girls, to wear the hijab or whatever that is, the head covering. But the first thing that came to my mind scripturally was Deuteronomy 28:15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And the first thing out of God's mouth in Deuteronomy 28, verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city. That was the first thing out of his mouth, was that God would put a curse on our cities. And I live in America, and I know what the American city is like. And a lot of cities are trying to dress up their downtown area. But the fact is, I wouldn't go there at night. I wouldn't go to downtown St. Louis at night. I wouldn't go to other places downtown at night. There's no way in the world I would do that. And you remember back in Leviticus chapter 26, God was talking about this covenant that he made with them, and the fact that if you break the covenant, here's what I'm going to do. He said in verse 24 of Leviticus 26, he said, then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins. In other words, God said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a little judgment to you, and it's not going to kill you all, but I want to wake you up. I want you to know that I'm still God. And just because you've removed me off the public scene, just because you've done against what I want you to do, just because you went around telling everybody there is no God, I'm still here, and my word is still intact, and my covenant is still there, and I'm going to punish you for what you've done, and if you won't listen to me, I'm going to punish you yet 7 times more. And he says that probably like 3 or 4 times in the book of Deuteronomy, or excuse me, the book of Leviticus. He keeps telling them, and then if you won't listen to me and you walk contrary to me, I'll get you 7 more times. And all of that had the effect with Israel. God intended that he was going to purge them from their iniquity. He was going to chastise them and chasten them because of their sins. And so here we are, we're marking the 11th anniversary